So we said, gentlemen, is it about manners or is it about status? Status. So we're going to look at William Byrd and we're going to determine his status, and we're also going to look at what does it tell us about the South. Is his life a typical Southerner? What does it tell us about religion? What does it tell us about Native American relations? So, and what does it tell us about the economy? So the first William Byrd came to America in 1670. That's a whole 63 years after Jamestown. So what was he coming here to do? Tobacco. He was not coming here to look for what? Gold, because that was already gone and done, that ship, right? There was no gold here. So the third William Byrd died by 1777. For more than a century, the lives of these three men, father, son, and grandson, were interwoven in the history of Virginia. William Byrd II inherited great wealth and added to the family fortune. He died and he owned 179,440 acres. How do you think he got that much acreage? Did he buy it with his own money? He paid for the passage of what? An indentured servant, and what did he get? 50 acres. What is the name of this system that allowed him to get this preponderance of land? No, that was why they came over, because they were probably not first or second born. What was the name of the system? The headright system. Because of the headright system, he paid for the passage of a person. Every person he brought over, he got 50 acres. So how much of that land do you think he bought on his own? Not much, right? Because a lot of it, he was like, if I keep on bringing over these servants, they're going to pull my weeds, and I'm going to get 50 acres. So did a lot of people get to benefit from this system, even if he came late in colonization? Yes. So he was educated in England. What does that tell us about his family's money? He was rich. Why do y'all say that's rich if he's going to England?
Education wasn't free back then.
It wasn't free back then. Even then, what does that tell us about schools in the South? There's not many schools. So that's a key note for yourself. There's no schools in the South. And I'm going to write that out here. No schools in the South. Why would they not be invested in making schools? What are they doing? They're working on the what? Land. They don't need to do this. But if his family were to send him, what is that going to tell us about William Byrd? Will William Byrd ever get down and dirty in the dirt? No. He said he spent many years there as a colonial agent and a lobbyist. So does he know a lot about politics? It says, at his home at Westover Plantation on the James River, he lived as a country gentleman, devoting himself to culture, pleasure, as well as tobacco growing. Okay, that was the main thing in Virginia, right? And it's going to be the main thing in Maryland. He did land speculation. I don't know if y'all know what the word speculation means. It's someone who's trying to buy something at a low price and sell at a high price. Do y'all know something where people speculate to make money? Okay, some people, when the housing market crisis, they bought houses low, sell them high. Okay, what else? Cars. Okay, but cars lose value. How about the stock market? Okay, do people go to Vegas and try to buy something low and make more money? Okay, so is this guy a gambler? Does he have a lot of money if he could speculate?
Yes.
Okay, this next thing, he did other business ventures and law and politics. His private library, numbering more than 3,600 volumes. Is he wealthy? Okay, but there's no education in the South, right? It says his library was larger than Harvard College Library. Was Harvard originally settled and done for lawyers and doctors? No, Harvard was created so we could do what?
Become a minister.
Educate ministers. That was the purpose of Harvard. So how many books would it actually have if it was trying to educate ministers? One, which is what? The Bible. That's why his library totaled more than Harvard College, because they all needed the Bible. That was it, one book. During the most of his adulthood, he kept a shorthand diary which recorded his intimate details, which we're going to read. I'm going to skip the parenthesis. He was one of the commissioners who, in 1728, surveyed and fixed the boundary between Virginia and North Carolina. I want us to talk about this. Have you ever seen those surveyors, and they go out there with their little tripods, and they have the little camera, and they're looking to see how a street has moved? Hi.
Sir Nicholas?
He is no longer here. Did his schedule change?
Yeah.
He didn't show up, but I'm pretty sure he saw on his schedule that his schedule changed.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So you've seen those surveyors, right? In California, there was like, they asked for several surveyors to come out, and they were paying for people to go over there because of the recent earthquake. They wanted to see how much damage that San Andreas fault did. So this guy is a surveyor, and he's gonna survey between Virginia and I'm just gonna erase this because I'm gonna draw Virginia out. I don't draw very well, okay? And then we know that there's below it is the Carolinas. But I want you to think, is this plantation big? Okay, so other people who took advantage of the, what system again? Head right, they're gonna take the best land, right? Along the coast and along rivers. So if you were an indentured servant, is there much land left for you? So if you were to get land, which area did you need to go? Out west, right? And who's out west that we've tried to exterminate and subdue? Indians who have left here. So you're a former indentured servant. Let's just say Joseph. I'm going to pick on you. James paid your way over. You did your 7 years for him. But there's no land over here for you. And you're going to try to come and live on this land. You're going to stake claim. Do you have rights to this? Did he have money for it? So here's Joseph on his little land that he's trying to make what? Tobacco. And what we're going to realize is that he is infringing and encroaching on whose land? Indians. Are they sedentary people that they sit in one area? No, they move around for resources, and one of the resources that they're moving around for is to get furs. Joseph's sitting on their land. What are they going to do to Joseph? They're going to attack him. Here are my bows and arrows. They're attacking him. Does Joseph feel threatened? Yes. There is a government he could go to in Virginia. The House of Burgesses. I'm just going to put it out here. Do you think the House of Burgesses is in his hands or in these wealthy landowners' hands? They said you have to have land, but it has to be a vast amount. Joseph gets upset, right? He's like, I have land. They don't want to help me against the Indians. He went and burns down the House of Burgesses with some other people in Nathaniel Bacon's rebellion. Do they want people, indentured servants, anymore? So what system are they going to go to? Slavery. So now Joseph is threatened by the Indians. He's not getting help by anybody in the House of Burgesses, so is he going to move elsewhere? He's going to move to a place that is, this is the Carolinas. We haven't divided it up yet. Okay? He's going to move, and he's going to be a squatter. What does the squatter mean? No rights. He's moving to this area. He has no rights, and he's just going to stake claim. Do the people in the southern part of Carolina who are making rice like people like Joseph who are taking land? No, so they want to survey a line, right? They want to divide the Carolina up, right, into South Carolina and North Carolina. But Virginia doesn't want to kind of have a line with North Carolina. Yeah, because they want to keep all the Joseph people out. So this is how Carolina gets its borders. Virginia comes in and they make this line. They're like, okay, that's where all the poor people who don't have land are going. And then South Carolina that's really rich, they're like, okay, here's our parameter. We don't want him in our place. And this is how we create the boundaries of North Carolina and South Carolina. Okay, are we okay with this border? Sorry, Joseph, thank you for letting me use your name. But, so, what can we say about North Carolina? Is it going to be a rich colony or a poor colony? South Carolina is very rich, right? Because it's trading with the Barbados. Is North Carolina? Is Virginia very rich? Yes. So now, in Virginia, to be able to vote, you had to have a lot of land, right? In South Carolina, you had to have a lot of land. In North Carolina, are they going to make land a requirement? No. They're going to say all men can what? So this is why North Carolina is known as one of the most democratic, because they let all men vote, because have these guys that moved to North Carolina had a bad taste of government from Virginia and South Carolina. So do y'all get why the Carolinas divide up? Okay? And again, it's a very rich man who's coming in doing this line. Do you think he's consulting with other rich men from South Carolina about where this line's going to be for their half? Yes. Okay. How do we feel about the lines? I know it's a very sad story of how these lines developed. Okay. We're going to skip the rest and we're going to go to his first entry. Do y'all see his first entry? We're not going to read it all. We're probably going to read 3 entries and then be done. It says, my wife and I disagreed about employing a gardener. I ate milk. What does it mean when you eat milk? It's not like you eat cereal. What does it mean when you eat milk?
Is it cheese?
It's not cheese yet. It's curdled milk, which is cottage cheese. Is that a delicacy? Think about how long you have to wait. Is it a delicacy?
Yes.
So is this guy rich?
Yes.
If he's able to wait for his milk to curd. Okay? So most people don't know that curded milk is a delicacy. Today you can get cottage cheese very cheap, right? But back then it's something. He says, John made the trimmings for the boat, which he performed very well. I settled on my accounts and I read Italian. Are most people of the South reading Italian? No. He says, I ate nothing but fish for dinner. Is that another delicacy? Yes, this guy has a lot of money. And he says, I had a little asparagus. We played billiards. I read more Italian. Dude, I can't even read English correctly, right? Now he's in a second language. So what does that tell us about? Yes, he went to England for his education, but where else did he go? Italy. For you to be able to immerse in a language and be able to read it, right? That's the last thing of acquisition in language is you have to be immersed in it. So he's been in Italy. He has a lot of money. In the evening, I walked around the plantation and I read Dr. Lister's book to the ladies. My wife and I continued very cool. My wife and I had another scold about mending my shoes, but it was soon over by her submission. I settled my accounts and I read Dutch. Okay? Another language, right? So does his family have a lot of money? Yes, because they probably send him here to learn that language and be able to read it. I says, I ate nothing but cold roast beef. Is roast beef a delicacy? You have to sit and let it cure. So this is another thing. And he doesn't like asparagus. But in the afternoon, Mr. Curtis complained of a pain in his side for which he took a sweat of snake root. We don't have doctors yet, but we have herbalists. He has a herbalist on his plantation. Is this guy wealthy? Yes. He says, I read more Dutch and I took a little nap. In the evening, we took around the walk of the plantation. My people made an end of the planting of the cornfield. Is he eating corn? So what is this cornfield for? His servants. Okay? So this next part, we're going to talk about his religion. He says, I rose around 6 o'clock and I said my prayers very shortly. We breakfasted. Oh gosh, it's like that he made that a verb, to breakfasted. Around 10 o'clock and I ate nothing but bread and butter and sack. We rode around to Jamestown Church where Mr. Commissionary preached. When church was done, I gave 10 shillings to the poor. Nothing can hinder me from sleeping at church, though I took great deal of pains against it. Talk to your partner. Tell me if he's religious. Talk to him about just what's happened in this.
Not really. He's one of those clockwork. I'm just the person who's so probably praise
Okay. How many of you want to say that he's devout? He's religious. He's hallelujah, baby Jesus. I'm here with you.
Come to Jesus moment and
Okay. How many of y'all say he's not religious? Okay. What in here entails that he's not religious? He sleeps in church. Okay.
I sleep in church sometimes.
Okay.
when we confess our sins.
You have. It's okay. Thank you for confessing. It's okay. We forgive you. This is confessional. Yes, Jacoria. Well, if he's sleeping in church, does that show that he's like truly religious? No, because if he was truly religious and devout, do you think he would be doing something else within the church?
Yes.
Yes, there's people who help out with the Eucharist, there's people who do the liturgy, there's people who help the father or the minister, and those people who are started going into those things, maybe singing in the choir, do they have a little bit more passion for religion? Yes. He's in the back row sleeping. Is his passion there? No. Okay, so the other thing, why is he here? I want you to talk to your friends. Why do you think he is here at church?
To show that he's
Okay, I heard this word, he's obligated. He's obligated. It's not his wife and it's not Jesus staring down at him, right? Why is it, think about him. Why is he obligated? The town. He's of status. So what did he have to do here because of his status? He has to go and he has to give what? Okay, the shillings, right? And so it has, I should have put just coins, right? But looking at here, he's doing this because he has to. It's the town. He has to take up appearance. He's not devout. But I want you to think, do you think these people that are of the South are going to be devout towards religion? No. And they're part of the Protestant, the Anglican Church. Right? And again, we're going to read one more thing, and we're going to read another one about Indians. On this next one, I want you to reflect if he's religious again. It says, in the afternoon, Colonel Ludwig brought us bad news that Captain Morgan had lost his ship on Marigot Rose by the storm, likewise had several others. My loss was very great in this ship, where I had 7 hogsheads of skins and 60 hogsheads of heavy tobacco. The Lord has given that the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Talk to your partner. Is he religious or is he not? Passive aggressive. Okay. Okay. Can we agree to this comment? He's passive aggressive with his religion.
Oh, thank you, Lord. You've given it.
Okay. He is like, you gave it to me and then you took it away. Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, but no thank you. Right? Do y'all think this is a selfish prayer?
Yes.
Okay. How many of you have those selfish prayers right before your test? You're like, dear baby Jesus, please be with me. Never, because you just got it all innately up here. But okay, some of y'all are praying, and this is a very selfish prayer, right?
Yeah.
So is he really devout? Because I think about church, and when people pray at church, the father doesn't or the minister doesn't go around. They're like, Kennedy, what do you want to pray for? They say your moment of silence, right? But when they do the whole church prayer, they're praying for the greater good of society, right? And this guy, when he's praying, is he praying for his economic benefit? Yes. So are y'all saying he's a religious dude? No. Last thing we're going to look at is the Native American relations. We're on the same column right here, and where it says 12 Pukmi Indians came over, we gave them some vectals. Do y'all know what a vectal is? It's like a remedy. Okay? So we're putting some snake root, we're putting some herbs here and all the other stuff, and this vectal is given to a person who is what? Sick. Is that of something of value?
Yes.
Expensive or cheap? Okay, so he's giving this to Indians. Does that seem like the proper relations that we've talked about with Indians? No, we've talked about them being subdued and exterminated. And the next thing he's giving them is rum. Is that something that's expensive? It's made in the Barbados, where they take the sugar, distill it, and make it into rum. So he's giving 2 very valuable things to Native Americans. Is he just doing it for good health? Good, his God has told him to? What do you think those Native Americans are trading with him? Furs. Does he have a vested interest in those Native Americans obtaining their lands? And so when people like Nathaniel Bacon have issues with the Indians, does William Byrd want to side with the former indentured servants, or does he want to side with the Indians? The Indians. And you have to realize that our Indians are very valuable to our very rich in society. So I want us to look at this. We've talked about different groups of people, and I want us to do a social pyramid. Where do y'all think William Byrd is on the social pyramid? He's at the top, and his title is going to be something called the planter oligarchy. What that means, oligarchy, is there's very few. Is there going to be very few men who have hundreds of thousands of acres? Yes, there's very few of them. That's why they're at the top. The next group of people below them are the government officials. Okay? Our next group is going to have a weird name, but they're going to be called yeomen farmers. They have land, but they don't have what? Slaves. Hey, this next group is going to be former indentured servants. So these guys, they go out to work the land for a set amount of years, and what are they hoping to do? Get land, right? But after Nathaniel Bacon's rebellion, do you think they want to bring over indentured servants anymore? No. And so this group of people gets turned into a new class of people called landless whites. Because of Nathaniel Bacon's rebellion, what new system of labor will be brought in? Slavery. So did the headright system last? Because of Nathaniel Bacon's rebellion. And the Indians can't be a stable supply of labor. Slavery will come into the Americas. And I want you to think this in light of the encomienda system. Did the encomienda system work out? No, because the Indians what? Died, and they had to bring in what? So the headright system, did it fail? Because of Bacon's rebellion, and we're going to have slavery in the Americas.